Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And we have our special guest, Narelle, from the LifeSpring Float Tank Centre. Welcome, Narelle. How are you going?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Hi, Narelle.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No worries. What can you tell us about your floating? What can you tell us about your float tank centre?
Well, I've got a lot I can tell you about, but basically, we opened our float tank centre in Rockingham about 2 years ago. The reason we opened in Rockingham was that we wanted to open a second centre that had cabins. Most people that know floating know of the enclosed pods that we have.
They're like the eggs.
The big giant eggs.
That's the ones,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. And we wanted to bring floating to the wider community by having an open cabin room. A lot of people just naturally suffer a little bit of claustrophobia or a fear of being in that enclosed space. And we wanted to address that, and what better place to do that in Rockingham? So
Yeah, definitely. That sounds quite exotic. The floating sort of bigger room area.
Yeah. It's actually the only float tank centre in WA with 3 double open cabins. There's one or two have added in an open room or an actual more like an open pool, but we actually imported from America these specially designed cabins. So it's like basically half the size of this room, not that anyone can really see, but half the size of a normal room.
So it's about, say, 4 meters by 5-ish?
Roughly, husband's department, the measurements.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I've actually wanted to get into one of them before.
Yeah.
I thought it would be really good if I could go in there and just meditate in there.
Yeah, perfect.
How long is one of the sessions?
Good question. An hour you're in the cabin. Generally, they can be shorter and longer, but generally an hour. We say to our customers, allow 2 hours minimum, because you shower before for hygiene and you shower afterwards, and that shower tends to be a bit longer. And then we have a lounge room, and we call that our green room. And we have herbal tea, we have books to read, and most people have quite enjoy sort of relaxing in there for a little bit after as well. So
it's good stress relief.
100% definitely stress relief.
What else? What other benefits?
Okay, just listing some of the benefits off the top of my head. Stress relief, muscular pain, arthritis, chronic pain, fatigue, high blood pressure, migraines, headaches, anxiety, insomnia, back pain, depression. The list does go on. We've got athletic recovery, and also I've done quite a bit of talking and working with a lot of the fibromyalgia groups as well.
It's interesting what you said there, because with all of those potential conditions and benefits, I've got all of them.
Yeah.
So I ticked them all off as you were going forward.
That's actually one of the many reasons that we opened the Float Tank Centre in Coburn originally. There was nothing south of the river. I was going to the one in the city, and living in the Rockingham area myself. It would basically be a whole day for me, because it's an hour there and an hour back and a couple of hours there. And to be honest, you don't normally want to do too much afterwards.
Yeah.
As well, so.
Okay. Well, what are your open times? And what does it cost for an hour?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Just to walk in and float for 1 hour is $80. We do have packages available, and you can buy a 3 float pack just for you alone to use, and it works out roughly $60 a float. Okay. Yeah, we also do a float and a massage package, which if you really want to indulge, that's something else.
That's probably something I would do there.
Yeah, you've got 3 people lining up here already.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Actually, on that note, just quickly, our double cabins were actually registered or licensed or permitted by the health department, one of the only ones where you can do couples floats. And when we talk about couple floating, predominantly it might be a carer. Might want to float with someone that needs to get in and out. It might be, a couple, an actual couple. And, one of the 2 couples might not be comfortable about doing it. We get a lot of people that are a little bit fearful of it, especially people with high anxiety. I mean,
Yeah, because
we're promoting to help anxiety. A lot of our clients suffer anxiety as well. So, we do offer couple floating, which is super popular.
How often do you get in there?
I float at least once a week. I
Wow.
try and float 3 times a week if I can. Actually, I did a 21-day straight floating every single day.
Wow.
For what reason?
Because just so I could talk about it more than anything. I just
Okay.
wanted to try. A lot of the float centre owners in America are right into sort of, floating and research and learning more
Yeah.
about the benefits. And, I do suffer, the list I read out, I probably suffer 95% of that myself.
Yeah.
And, I myself, suffer some anxiety issues, and my counsellor actually, when she found out I owned a float tank centre, nearly slapped me, So her prescription, literally my homework, was I had to float every day for 7 days straight. Now, obviously, I'm in a privileged position. I own the float tank centre.
Yeah.
I can float for free. So we get that people, it's an expense. My husband and I, when we opened the float tank centre, we've just a small family run business. We're locals in Rockingham. We employ local people. And we tried to keep our prices to a minimum, and we're easily the most affordable in the whole of Australia.
How much is
literally.
the massage and the float pack?
Oh, he questioning.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
pressure.
About 100 and
120.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, I'm always
there you go.
There it is.
I've already booked. I've already booked. Well, I haven't yet, but no. The thing
the
is,
prices range from 150, but that's two.
yeah, sorry.
that's
So I'm talking about
yeah.
the 2 people
Yeah.
float.
so
and then
that's
the massage.
and well, you can actually do remedial. We've got some remedial. Personally, I quite like a relaxation massage and a float. I try and get a massage once a month if I can, because to me that's obviously a luxury item.
What
but
does it
you
does
know.
it smell like anything? Do you put
Nothing.
anything in there? It's just no.
It's all about nothing.
Yeah.
It's all about
It's weightless.
nothingness.
It's
It's
about
about
being weightless,
doing
isn't it?
nothing, feeling nothing. Let your brain do nothing, My husband, bless him, he floated for about a year because I told him it was good for him. And he laid there, and I don't know if you can see me, people, but he laid there like this,
all
basically, for an
stiff.
hour, like a good husband, because he thought... And after about a year of doing this, he went in for a float, and he said it was almost tiring doing nothing, because you had to try. He said, and he just sort of went, oh, what the hell, and let go. And
There
that's
you
what
go.
we're looking for, that let go.
Yeah.
So,
Is it a deprivation chamber at all?
100%. Yeah, we're looking at sensory deprivation is a
Right.
word that's bandied around a lot in the
Yeah.
floating industry. Definitely, that's what we're looking for. But having said that, don't fear, because people are quite scared of doing nothing because we're not used to it. We should be, but we're not, okay? And the people that think they can't float or they can't do nothing are the ones that should be doing more of it, The people, the yogis that are meditating daily, they can come for a float too, but,
I think that's the point. I mean, this is it's meditation. It's not just floating around in a tank. It's literally meditation, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, like I said, I could talk for hours on the topic. When we've even had monks come and float, and they've said it's a shortcut to meditation. It really is. Like I said, that little quick story about my husband, I've got hundreds of them. The stories in that lounge room afterwards is just mind. And, we encourage, and we have signs, turn your phones off when you walk in. We charge phones for clients. We watch the phones if they're expecting a business or an important call. We actually tell our clients they have to turn their phones off when they're floating, because we're so in tune with our phones, we'll feel the vibrations. I floated the other day and I could feel my phone vibrating outside, so I hopped out of the tank, and my phone hadn't rung. It was in my head.
Oh my God.
It was I literally hallucinated my phone. buzzing.
Whereabouts are you? What's your address?
We're in Market Street. We're in Market Street, Rockingham. They're behind the licensing centre.
Okay.
Most people know the Autumn Centre.
Yep.
We're kind of adjacent to that.
Okay.
A little bit of a parking nightmare at the moment, but fear not. There's some secret parking. Not for the licensing people, no. No. There's actually enough, because most of the people come and go pretty quickly. Down the side streets, there's still quite a bit of parking down there. And
I know where it is.
Yeah, behind the licensing
Yeah,
centre.
I want to come and check it out.
Definitely do. Pop down.
Have you got a web page in that?
We do, and it's really easy. It's the name of our business, thelifespring.com.au, and we also are we're on Facebook and Instagram. Predominantly probably Facebook. We run competitions all the time.
Ah, excellent.
I can answer messages on Facebook if anyone has any, direct questions.
Do you have any specials on at the moment?
We try and avoid specials as such, but our prices are always the best. But, we'd like to give away a couple of floats today to some of your
nice.
listeners.
Ooh, sounds good.
Well, just to reiterate as well, because I got the figures wrong, and I do apologise, Narelle. It's $160 for the massage and the float, which is a fantastic price, to be honest.
Yeah. Campbell's a little cheaper.
Yeah. So I've got it on the website, and seriously, that's the kind of thing that I'll be looking at for sure.
Yeah, I reckon, definitely.
That's for 2 hours, plus the lounge room's got to be, the lounge room's invaluable, honestly. One of my favourite parts about working there, actually working in the store, is the lounge room. You'll have 3 strangers having a conversation, and not just, polite pleasantries. Usually they're quite actually in depth. And sometimes I've had our clients still there when the next group have come out and the 6 have joined up and continued on having conversations. So
the guard's down, they feel good.
Yeah.
Just relaxed, chilled.
Yeah.
Also too, there's the other side of the range of people, myself quite highly motivated, some would call a little bit too motivated, a bit annoyingly, and hyperactive. Whatever label you want to put on it. When I flow, it does calm me down, but it clears my mind. Okay, so my mind is quite busy, as is a lot of people that might have some mental health issues. And I can't stress enough that the easiest way to describe it is like a filing cabinet. And you've got a million files and you can't fit another file in. What floating does for me, it gets rid of all the files that I don't need, puts them all back into alphabetical order, and it makes space. Now, I'm going to go and fill that space really quickly, but for a couple of days...
So a bit of clarity.
And I'll go home and I'll get stuff done. I'll stop doing 10 things at once. So, it has different effects to different people, not like any therapy, that you can get. So we've had a lot of doctors prescribe it. We are working on NDIS at the moment. I've had a couple of actual NDIS clients get through. So we're actually looking at just being a provider. It's a little bit in depth, but it's something that we're working on, because that way we can actually, again, bring it to a wider community that might not necessarily have been able to afford it. So I can't stress how much work that is to get approved, but it's something we've been working on.
Yeah, so you must work with a lot of like gyms and bodybuilders and martial arts and stuff that come through there, right?
We do, because there's a lot of athletes are now discovering the importance of recovery. It's a good metaphor for life, isn't it?
Definitely.
When a professional athletes for a living, basically, and part of their work will be recovery as well. So, again, which I come back to, which is, one of the many reasons we opened in the first place. I was competing with weightlifting, and I needed to recover quicker because I was competing as a much older participant in the sport against younger. And the girls were getting up Monday morning and training, and I still couldn't move Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wow. So research brought me to this. So, I can work out at the gym, and a lot of our athletes do come in for a float, and normally they would need a day or two of recovery, but after a float they can get up in the morning and go straight back to the gym again.
That sounds great. It definitely sounds like something
it's
I
magic.
need. Yes.
It's magic.
But what it also shows you is the fact that Narelle is not just talking it, she's walking it as well, right? Because that's you wouldn't advocate this if you didn't believe it yourself, Narelle.
No, absolutely. And, my husband, the silent partner, we joke about, he's not normally so silent, but he has done a couple of public speaking about floating, and it just blew my mind at how easy he did it, because it's just, we know it. I bought notes and I don't need them, I mean, if you want to start getting down to, chemical technicalities, I'd probably need the notes or my husband here. But, the benefits of floating, and having worked in there myself. Obviously, when we first opened, my husband and I were both doing 100 hours in the shop, just as any small business does. And sort of slowly we've introduced staff and worked out that we don't need to be open and I haven't answered your question, so sorry. You asked me when we're open.
Times, yeah.
I got there the
That's
long
okay.
way. We got
That's
there.
it,
We got
yeah.
there. We are actually open every day except for Tuesdays. Obviously, we got shut down with COVID, so it's been a little bit of a hard one to juggle. We got closed down quite early in the piece, but we're also open back again quite early. So we decided rather than being open every day of every week of every hour that we would condense it a little bit more. And we're open every day except for Tuesday. Generally, I would sort of say quite comfortably we're open for bookings. So, we
So even the weekend?
definitely
Okay.
Saturday. So, Saturday mornings till about 3, we're kind of busy.
Yeah.
And Sundays from 11, I mean, we're open late at night. So, people can come after work. So, as long as if they give us a ring or Facebook message or, Instagram message, whatever
And
it is
what's
that
your
the
phone
kids are
number,
using.
Narelle?
95576175.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make sure that gets on the Inspire Radio Facebook
you.
page as well.
Thanks
Definitely.
for having me. When we first opened, one of the biggest things we got was I didn't know what floating, people ring up going, what is this floating? I still get the odd call, what's floating? I had a lady message me the other day and say, what are the benefits? And when I told her some, she was like, not unlike yourself, Boone, I've got all of them, I'll see you next week. And gradually as more float tank centres opened in Perth, the question changed, and that was, I didn't know you were here, which is what we get a lot in Rockingham. So
Yeah.
opportunities like this are just invaluable to us. So thank you. We really appreciate
Oh, you're welcome.
letting us
You're
share.
welcome.
So
I'll come and check it out for sure.
Just
yeah.
one more question.
No,
I
you
forgot to
can.
ask.
Yeah, you can ask.
With the massage, obviously
Yes.
I'm a bigger person and a little
you
tiny
don't
dent-
charge per square metre, no.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good then. But the next question would be, obviously a tiny little massage isn't going to do a lot for me. Do you get like different deep tissue massage and stuff like that?
Definitely. Good question. We actually, we can do pregnancy massages too. We've got qualified.
I was going to say I don't want to be pregnant.
No.
I know what you mean.
You're a
Yeah.
bit bigger, yeah. But we actually do remedial and deep tissue. So
Beautiful.
again, my brain jumping from topic to topic. But a lot of our professional athletes that come in, the same thing. They need deep tissue. They don't want a nice relaxing massage. Whereas
so yes, it'll be good for you.
Definitely.
us normal people might just want a nice relaxing one, and then we got athletes. But then I love nothing more than a deep tissue.
That's
Get
it.
that elbow in there.
Well, that's it. I did bodybuilding just like what you did,
Yeah.
and then I stopped, and but I still got the need for the deep tissue because the muscles and stuff's still there.
Have you been watching The Strongman? Do you
I
like
haven't
Strongman?
actually.
Oh yeah, The Strongman's has been great to watch. Having said that, one of our ambassadors is actually the world's strongest man in his division, Adamu. So
Wow.
he's a local chap, and he floats, and he's on our covers and everything. And we've got a few ambassadors, all local Rockingham sports celebrities. What do you call them?
Sports celebrities,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it, that's it.
Well, if you'd like to pass a message on, we'd be more than happy to have them in here too.
I will. I'll get him. He'll be in, and I'll bring Nanamu in. And with regards to your size, or anyone's size, not yours. Sorry.
That's all right.
With people's size, obviously the bigger you are, the more buoyant you are. So we
that's
actually get asked, "Am I going to float?" And I've had some ladies, bless them, private message me, with lady questions, which, I'm always happy to ask. My husband handballs that straight to me. But one larger lady, and she was quite embarrassed to ask, and I said, actually, the bigger you are, the more buoyant you are. So size is no matter. The size of our cabins will fit in fact, we sponsor and support the Rockingham Flames as well. So the basketballers all come in and float as well. So
Nice.
Beautiful.
yeah, we support them too. So
And you've got a couple of prizes.
we have got some giveaways.
Ooh, the giveaways.
There's three. There's three. Over to you, Mike.
Mike, I think
Mike on the mic.
Mike
yeah,
on Mike.
what we wanted to do really was to try and work our listeners and get them to answer a question or to give us a joke, right?
I think in make us laugh.
Yeah.
Nothing like a good laugh, is there? So
Right. So we've got two options here. You can either send a joke in via the text message system, or we can put it on the Inspire Radio Facebook page, because we can't take calls in at the moment, correct?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
You know,
So,
we should put it on the Facebook page. They can post their jokes. Yeah, that's a great idea.
yeah, so we'll post a joke on the Facebook page, and Narelle will pick the best.
That's dad jokes included.
I'm a tough critic.
I've got a dad joke to start us off with.
Okay.
To say, doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains. The doctor said, pull yourself together.
Can I? I've got one. It's the only joke I ever remember. Yeah. How do you get Pikachu onto a bus?
I give in.
You Pokemon.
Dad joke.
All right. My turn. I forgot it. Doctor, people keep saying I'm invisible. Who said that?
I think you win for the worst joke.
I don't have any.
Oh, no.
I've always got that. You've got to have that one little, joke up your
you have
repertoire.
to.
But that's the only one I can remember.
All right, so whoever gets the best joke.
And what we'll do is we've got
Just three prizes,
three people. We'll want to share floating with as many people as we can in Rockingham. We regularly support, like Mother's Day competitions, Father's Day. So if you like us on Facebook, we do flash sales occasionally as well. But like I was saying, we try and keep our prices as reasonable as we can every day for everyone to enjoy floating, rather than sort of doing sales as January. But we've got 3 floats, so 3 bad jokes, please.
Okay, awesome, Narelle. That was great.
Yeah, try and find a joke worse than mine. Good luck with that one. This is Narelle. She's from the Life Springs Float Tank Centre, and she's got 2 centres, one in Coburn Central and one in Rockingham. And Narelle, we'd really like to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Anytime.
No worries. We'll see you again next time.
Will do.
All right, here comes Imagine Dragons.
With natural. The best way.